In the autumn of 1942, a thin, ink-stained notebook was smuggled across the Mediterranean, tucked inside the coat of a young courier bound for Nazi-occupied France. The pages trembled not from the sea air, but from the dangerous ideas they carried. For within those cramped lines, a French-Algerian journalist named Albert Camus had dared to put a question no army, empire, or doctrine could silence. What if the universe simply doesn't care? What if every searchlight we shine into the night sky only illuminates our own restless faces? Not an answer, not a plan, only the echo of our asking. Camus titled his essay, Le mythe de Sisyphe, the myth of Sisyphus, and Parisian printers risked arrest to set its type, because even under occupation, people still craved forbidden truths. Camus had grown up on the blinding, sun-bleached streets of Algiers, chasing soccer balls, dodging colonial tensions, breathing dust and salt in equal measure. Tuberculosis scarred his lungs early, reminding him, day after day, that existence balances on a thread, one cough and it snaps. Yet here he was, 29 years old, cheeks flushed with fever, writing that life might be, in the grandest sense, absurd. Not comedic absurd, but cosmic absurd. The collision between our hunger for meaning and the universe's grand shrug. Picture Sisyphus, condemned by the gods for trickery, straining under a boulder that forever rolls back. Each sunrise, muscles torn, hands raw, he begins again. Camus saw in that ancient Greek punishment a mirror of modern Europe. Cities bombed, treaties broken, families displaced. Yet every morning, trains still ran, bread still baked, love letters still slipped under doors, the grind of daily purpose grinding against the silence of the skies. His friends in the Resistance asked, why bother printing philosophy while tanks patrol the streets? Camus answered with action. He co-edited an underground newspaper called Combat, because thinking and acting were never rivals in his mind. They were co-conspirators. You fight oppression outwardly, and inwardly you fight despair. The two fronts are one war. So even as he organized secret presses and dodged Gestapo raids, he kept returning to that notebook, sharpening the paradox. We are creatures who seek meaning, yet we live in a universe that offers none. The clash is absurd, but, he argued, it is also liberating. For centuries, philosophers had tried to solve the riddle of existence like a math problem. Derive God, deduce morality, guarantee purpose. Camus flipped the script. Suppose there is no solution. Suppose the riddle is the point. Then our task shifts from finding the answer to living the question. Revolt, freedom, passion, 3 words he underlined twice. Revolt means saying yes to life in spite of its no. Freedom means recognizing that when no grand design binds us, our choices truly matter. Passion means savoring every sensory spark before darkness falls. To live absurdly is not to wallow in futility. It is to dance on the edge of it. After liberation, Camus walked the Boulevard Saint-Germain, notebooks now tucked openly under his arm. The cafes buzzed with intellectuals declaring new systems, Marxist, existentialist, structuralist. Camus smiled and ordered another coffee. He remained suspicious of any totalizing map, because he had inhaled the gunpowder of a war that began with certainties. When zealots claim to know absolute truth, the next step is to silence those who doubt. Better, he thought, to admit uncertainty and build solidarity from humility. Imagine Sisyphus meeting another condemned soul halfway down the hill, laughing at their shared predicament, rolling together, finding communion in the ordeal. Fast forward 8 decades, and the myth scrolls by in meme form, a looping gif of a tiny figure pushing a cartoon boulder, captioned Monday. Workers tap hearts, students retweet. Yet beneath the humor, the old anxiety flickers. The task list resets each dawn. Inbox 0 becomes inbox infinity. We chase likes, promotions, meaning, and the rock rolls back. Algorithms amplify the feeling that everyone else has cracked the code, that there is some final summit where certainty waits. Camus whispers from out of frame, there is no summit, but the climb is still yours. Do you feel the cool morning air, the texture of granite under calloused palms, the racing pulse that reminds you you're alive? That's freedom. Don't outsource it to anyone. Take 21st century climate scientists, staring at data that predicts catastrophe. How not to surrender to despair. Some quit, some double down. But many embrace what philosopher Jonathan Lear calls radical hope. The resolve to act fiercely even when outcomes are unclear. They lobby, invent, protest, plant trees, knowing the rock could tumble. Camus would nod, that is revolt. acting without a guarantee, teachers returning to classrooms after yet another crisis, doctors signing in for night shifts during a pandemic, parents telling bedtime stories though tomorrow is uncertain, all modern Sisypheans, not heroes in spite of absurdity, but because of it. Camus insisted we imagine Sisyphus happy. Critics scoffed, how can a man condemned be joyful? But look closer, the gods control the punishment, not his attitude. Each descent is a moment of consciousness. He owns his fate, transforms curse into craft. Notice your own moments between pushes, the walk from desk to kitchen, the silence before the baby's cry, the breath you hold at a red light. Choose to see them, choose to claim them. The absurd hero is free, precisely where circumstance is fixed. The universe makes no promises, so you make your own vows, to kindness, to curiosity, to the absurd beauty of another dawn. And what of meaning, you ask? If it isn't handed down, can we build it up, brick by brick? Camus would say yes, but call it something humbler, call it significance. A story you write in real time, fragile, revisable, yet real, like friendships forged in a trench, like songs composed in exile, like a notebook smuggled through a blockade. Significance thrives precisely because it isn't eternal. It requires you, here, now, pushing. So next time the rock rolls back, pause, place your hand on its rough surface, feel the accumulated history of every push that came before, then smile, brace and heave, knowing the struggle itself stitches you to life. The rock is heavy, yes, but a new eye is heavier, better to strain than to sleepwalk, better to choose than to be chosen for, better to live in lucid rebellion than in borrowed certainty. You and I, we stand on the same hillside as Camus, as Sisyphus, as every human who ever asked why and got silence for an answer, yet answered back with a heartbeat. Do you, watching this, feel the absurd weight of your own task, or the exhilarating lightness of owning it? Maybe both. That tension is the pulse of being human. Lean into it and tell us, in the comments, where does your rock lead you each morning, and what secret joy keeps you returning? If this exploration resonates with you, subscribe, share it with a fellow climber, and for now, as always, keep thinking.